So from gangster to grace, your crazy life. How crazy was life for Mondo?
Man. You talk about dodging death. You talk about shootings every day. You talk about stabbings. You talk about partying. You talk about the extreme. I think when you understand what survival looks like, survival has no pause moments. It's always going, always dodging, always moving, always on the edge of something happening. And that was my life.
So was that in Central America or was that in LA?
That's in LA. That's in LA. Central America was a little different. My father beat my mother, and I'm a 6-year-old little boy watching my hero beat my mother close to death. And I'm there paralyzed in fear, not knowing how to help my mother. And our world fell apart within hours. From that moment, my mother said, either I stay and he's gonna kill me, or I'm gonna kill him, or I leave and I gotta get my kids out of here.
And what does that open the door to when you do get to LA? What does that?
You know, that opens the door to release the anger. That's why the book is titled My Crazy Life. Mi vida loca, my crazy life, where the destiny, the road that the gang culture was leading me to, yet at 8 years old, I was already willing to pay the price for it. 8, 9, and 10, I was being lured in. By the time I'm 11, I'm getting jumped in by 6 guys. My mother was waiting to get a phone call to say, hey, your son is dead. Because every other mother was getting that phone call. Life was getting tough.
What opens the door to grace?
I'm inside of a lowrider and we're getting ready to go do a hit. But before that, I'm waiting for a page because I'm getting ready to be promoted. And all of a sudden, there's a turmoil happening inside of this lowrider. We get into this battle, and I write about it in my book. He snatched the pager off, walks to the payphone. When he walks to the payphone, all I hear is bullets ringing. And I look back and I realized that should have been me. And I knew, wait a minute, I thought we were down for one another. This ain't right. Somebody's coming after me. That hit was for me.
Yeah.
That in the streets we call that in 187. Yet my sister's praying for me at the same time.
Yeah.
We're living in the same household. She never condemned me. She never said, you're going to hell, you sinner. Never once. My sister walks in and delivers 3 of the most powerful words I've heard until that moment that were the catalyst that walks in and says, what if God is real? What if prayer works? And what if you have a different destiny? She was the only one that had the courage to walk into my world. And I write about it because most people forget that when God gives you a word, you're afraid to share it because of what people are going to think around you. But yet, when it's your own family, when it's your brother, my sister said, my brother ain't going to die. Not like this. And she walks in, delivers this words. She said, you know, Mondo, God spoke to me that before this year is over, God was going to save you. Save me from what? Yes, she said, why don't you come on Saturday night? There's a preacher that's going to be giving his testimony. Can you come? I said, Laura, I said, you don't understand. I can't be seen in the church. Come on, man, you got to do it. Just walk in, and if you don't like it, just leave.
I love it.
She had a tenacity, and still does.
What would you say to the young boy if you could go back?
Oh, man. My conversion to Christianity was not on that church service when the preacher said, hey, you want to come down and get saved and be prayed on and da-da-da. That was a great moment because it gave me the ability to understand that what I was looking for, I found that night, which was love and peace. Yet the next day, Efrem, what happened was that I showed up to a meeting where I needed to tell my homeboys what happened the night before. And they greeted me, not with a party this time, with a shotgun in my back, a pistol on my forehead, and a pistol in my chest, and said, where were you last night, homie? So why would I tell that little boy? Don't fear nobody. I was scared of being loved. I was scared to find hope, to feel happy, to be joyful, to be accepted for the fact that I've been accepted for who I was.